As you begin your job search, there are four main components you need to consider. They include resume writing, interviewing, networking, and finding job leads. Writing a professional resume is a good first step. Before you begin writing your resume, you need to consider what is most important for me to include in an effective resume. What are the do's and don'ts of resume writing? All job seekers must start with a professionally written resume. A resume is a must in today's job market, even if you are seeking an entry-level position. Your resume is often the first impression you make on an employer, so you need to be sure you've used the proper format, highlighted your skills, and tailored it to the job you are applying for. As you begin writing your resume, you need to choose the proper format for your job search. Traditional resumes are written in a chronological format. These types of resumes focus on your work history and should be used for job seekers wanting to stay in their current field. Functional resumes are better for job seekers who are seeking a career change. This type of resume is also a good fit for recent graduates. Functional resumes focus on your skills rather than your work experience. You can find many examples of these two types of resumes by doing a Google search and using the keywords chronological resume format or functional resume format. The next step in writing your resume is to identify your skills. Use action or skill words when writing job descriptions, accomplishments, and skills statements. These are more powerful than using terms like responsible for or duties included. Think about your accomplishments and where you went above and beyond the call of duty in either your previous jobs, volunteer work, or education. Be sure to highlight your strengths. Accomplishments and skills are what will catch an employer's eye. Personalize your resume for each job you apply for. Customize your resume to fit the job posting by incorporating keywords you see in the posting. Create different resumes for different job targets. If you have a few different job targets in mind, you should have different versions of your resume. There is not a one-size-fits-all in resume writing. There are many do's and don'ts of resume writing. It is important to remember a few essential tips. Employers will only spend 15 to 20 seconds scanning your resume before deciding if they want to see more. Your resume must be easy to read and to the point. Only put the items on there that will get you the interview. Leave the other stuff off. The top half of your resume is the most important, so put your biggest selling points first. Make sure it is easy to read by using bullet points and avoiding lengthy paragraphs. Keep your resume to 1 to 2 pages in length. Employers only want to know what your recent work experience is, so use only your last 10 years of experience. And finally, make sure you have someone else review your resume to check for any errors. Sending out a resume with a mistake is the quickest way to end up in the out pile. The last step in preparing your resume is to write a cover letter. A cover letter is not always required, but always recommended. This is your opportunity to introduce yourself and let the employer know why you are applying for the job. Once you've landed an interview, your preparation is not over. Interviewing is a skill, so you need to develop your interviewing abilities. Preparing for an interview can include researching the company, reviewing common interviewing questions, and rehearsing your answers. If you've prepared for the interview, you will feel more confident and less nervous. 1. Sell yourself as the right candidate. Your main goal in an interview is to prove to them that you are the right candidate for the job. This is your opportunity to sell yourself and show the employer why they should hire you over someone else. You should have an idea of what strengths and experience you want to share before arriving for your interview. Identify examples that prove your abilities. The key points you need to think about include: how does your background relate to this employer and position? How do you meet the requirements of the job? How has your education prepared you for this job? Why do you want to work for them? 2. Keep your answers relevant to the question. Focus on the question they ask and keep your answer to the point and pertinent to the job. Don't go off on tangents. Your answers don't always need to be long, but they do need to prove the point. 3. Know your goals and be able to verbalize them. Employers like goal-driven employees. It demonstrates good planning and decision-making. Employees will show greater commitment to the job if it fits within their career goals. All goals should be in line with this job and company and be realistic. 4. Give examples. The best answers to interview questions tell a story or give an example. Anytime you give an example, even when they aren't specifically asking for one, it will make your answer stronger. It is also much more interesting to the interviewer. 5. Be aware of your nonverbal communication. You are sending a message to the interviewer with your nonverbal cues. Make sure to smile and nod when the interviewer is talking. Watch your tone of voice. Don't be too loud or too quiet. Don't slouch. While sitting, keep your feet on the floor and lean forward a little towards the interviewer so you appear interested and engaged. Make eye contact. Looking in the eyes of your interviewer communicates confidence and sincerity. 6. Don't talk negatively about your past employers. This will only reflect negatively on you. Anytime you have to speak about previous employers, supervisors, or coworkers, be sure to do so in a positive manner. Even if you have negative feelings, always stick to the positive aspect of people. 7. Don't raise the issue of money. Employers know you are interested in the money, but if they don't mention it, that means they aren't ready to discuss it yet. Wait until they want to hire you. You are more likely to get a higher wage. Never think the interview is a waste of my time if the salary is less than you need. You never know when they may have another job opening that might better fit your financial needs. It's always a great practice run for your next interview. 8. Research the company. Employers take pride in the company they work for. They want to know you are interested in working for their company, that this is not just any job. Having knowledge about the company shows you are interested and that you've taken time to learn about them. It will also make the interview easier because you already know what they are all about. It may even help calm your nerves. Do your research and learn as much as you can. You can learn a great deal about a company, even the kind of place it might be to work. 9. Dress for success. Employers size you up in the first couple of minutes. It can set the tone for the whole interview. Looking professional gives the impression that you take pride in yourself and your work. You will feel more confident if you are dressed well. You hold your shoulders back, you have better posture, and exude self-confidence. 10. Practice makes perfect. Rehearse your answers. Actors rehearse their lines when acting in a play. The more they practice, the better they are. The same technique applies to interview practice. Print a list of common interviewing questions and develop answers. Practice the answers in your head first. Get comfortable with what you want to say. Next, practice the answers out loud. It's a completely different experience thinking about what you want to say and actually verbalizing it. You need to hear how it sounds out loud. Consider practicing in front of a mirror. See how you look and sound during an interview. Finally, practice with someone else. Have a friend or family member ask you interview questions and you answer them. You will feel more nervous practicing with someone than you did practicing alone. You need this to get used to that nervous feeling. It's also a great way to get feedback from someone else on how well you did and where you need to improve. When you take the time to really prepare yourself before the job interview, you will be confident and your demeanor will be cool, calm, and collected. By being well prepared, you will have great answers and prove to the employer that you are the best candidate for the job. Networking should be one of the top strategies you utilize in your job search. Applying for jobs online is a good strategy, but you will find you will have a much smaller response rate if you only use this technique. To increase your chances of finding job openings and getting interviews, you need to tap the hidden job market through networking. Traditional networking includes connecting with friends, family, and colleagues either face-to-face, over the phone, or by email. Networking is one of the leading ways people discover job leads. Employers often prefer hiring someone from a personal referral versus hiring an unknown candidate. Social networking is the latest way to make connections. Social networking is using an online service or site to develop relationships for people with similar interests, backgrounds, or activities. The top sites to find employment include LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. LinkedIn is the premier site for job networking and provides job postings. Facebook is used primarily for social connections, but many users post status updates about their job hunt. Twitter is used to research or follow companies or users to uncover hidden job leads to learn the latest news. After learning about the different types of social networking, you should think about the image you might already be portraying if you are already on one of these sites. There are multiple articles online about how to clean up your social media before conducting a job search. Employers are looking at potential job candidates' Facebook profiles and more to see if you are the type of person they want to associate with their company. Informational interviews are another way to network with contacts or referrals. An informational interview is not a job interview. They are a way to gather information about your field of interest. They are useful to help you make decisions about your career, to learn about what is current within the field, and to meet the people who may be a connection to get a job. It is different than a job interview because you are the one asking the questions. It is primarily an information gathering session, but still an excellent networking opportunity. Career fairs offer the chance to meet face-to-face with employers who are hiring. In today's cyber-centric world, you may often feel frustrated at the lack of opportunity to meet an employer and show them who you are and what you have to offer. At a career fair, you get to do just that. Networking events. There are many benefits to developing a professional, trade, or technical association during your job hunt and beyond. The networking opportunities alone are worth the membership fees. Most associations offer seminars and conferences where you have the opportunity to meet contacts that will lead directly to job leads. There are many different online resources available to help you find job leads. Don't limit yourself to one job board or type of website. Use large job boards like monster.com or careerbuilder.com or local job boards like jobbing.com. Also use relevant industry sites too, such as dice.com for technical positions. You might discover these industry sites through professional associations or by using a search engine. Research which employers hire for your job target and visit their company websites on a weekly basis. Also, make sure to use recruiter websites because employers often outsource their hiring. While learning how to conduct an online job search is essential in today's market, some time-tested techniques are still effective. The most basic but proven technique is cold calling. The thought of calling a potential employer cold is terrifying to most job seekers. However, if you can overcome this fear and learn how to make contacts, you might uncover one of those jobs in the hidden job market.